Hey everybody, welcome to the Mana Leak. I'm John as always, and Aether Revolt is here, which of course means that we have a box here with Chandra and Tezzeret facing off and Nicol Bolas looking creepily in from the outside. We're going to open this box on up. We are going to see what's in it. We won't do too much strategy discussion. This of course will be the typical sort of just box opening. Hey, here's what I got. The real story of this box is going to be the odds of me continuing to never open a masterpiece. I did the numbers. There was a 93% chance that I would have opened a masterpiece by now based on all of the Aether Revolt, Kaladesh, the other two sets, Battle for Zendikar and Oath of the Gatewatch. I have opened boxes of each, 40 drafts or so, weekly crack packs, and I've never seen a masterpiece yet. Now, of course, any one pack doesn't matter what the other packs are. Every one pack is 1 out of 144 odds, so it's just going to be a continued story of my terrible luck that I'm not going to open one in this box either. But let's open this box up and see what's inside. If I was smart, I would have brought a knife or something, but I'm not smart. Come on, wizards, security, cellophane. There we go. Got it. Took some work, but I got it. Let's start with a Johnny and see what he's got. So I don't play too much Constructed, so opening is typically for collecting purposes, plus I do build a cube every now and then. This pack we have a Foil Mountain, ooh-hoo-hoo, and an Aid from the Cowl. Aid from the Cowl, a fun enough card. I have played it in my pre-release, and it did some good work. I flipped a demon off of it, but I don't super recommend it. Try it with caution. Try it when you want to have fun in a draft, not when you necessarily want to win. Pack number 2. What do we get in this pack? We get Secret Salvage through the mountain. Secret Salvage, terrible card. Terrible card. Not going in cube for sure, and not gonna be worth too much. Pack number 3. I smell a mythic. What do we get? We get ourselves a Merchant Stockhand and a Foil Implement of Combustion. That being the second, possibly third implement I've opened. Yeah, they do look kind of nice in foil, I will say, because they are rather nicely designed. Whose art is that? Ephraim Mercier. Don't know them. Yeah, Merchant Stockhand, not terribly good. Could go in a lower powered cube though, especially a cube that has some sort of artifact sub-theme in it, which mine doesn't at the moment. Next pack, we get ourselves a Call for Unity. One of the top 10 cards I wanted to open up pack 1, pick 1 in my first draft. I think you can go off with it. I know some people are iffy on it. It does take an end step or two to really start to go off, but the first +1/+1 makes this a solid card. The second one makes this ridiculous, and any beyond that just mean you run away with that game. Call for Unity I like a fair bit. I would first pick it probably in most packs, I think. Maybe not up against, solid removal or something. Next pack, we get ourselves Baral, Chief of Compliance. Horrifyingly bad in Limited. Certainly has some potential Constructed implications for sure, and definitely will go in my cube. I do have a blue sort of blue-red counter-burn sub-theme in my deck a little bit, and this guy would work very well in there, making your burn spells cheaper and drawing you more burn spells whenever you counter things. Super solid, easy include in the cube, I think. Next pack, we get ourselves Call for Unity number 2, already duplicating the rares. That's unfortunate. I'd rather duplicate something expensive, not a Call for Unity, which I'm sure is probably 50 cents or so. Next pack, let's go. Who are you? Malfist Revolutionary? I think that's Malfist Revolutionary. Malfist Revolutionary, what do you have for us? You have a Walking Ballista. That's worth a little bit. And a solid bomb. I gave this way too low of a grade in my set review. I realized it almost immediately after recording that set review. It takes a lot of mana to get going, but the fact that it makes combat an utter nightmare is huge. Absolutely huge. Never passed this card, ever. Really solid. At yesterday's F&M, I saw one of the players do disgusting things with it, including putting 8 counters on it and finishing the game that way, because of course Walking Ballista can hit players. Next pack. What do we get? We get one of those packs that don't quite open how you expect them to open. Pack number whatever that is, we get a foil rare. We get a foil Release the Gremlins. Those gremlins are being released on that giant laser thing. Surprisingly not that great in foil. The colors don't really pop as much. Another card that I was probably a little bit too low on. I think using it to just kill one artifact and get one gremlin is probably totally fine. And Consulate Crackdown, another artifact hate spell, is our regular non-foil rare. I think it could have some constructed potential for sure, and I might put it in a cube that did have an artifact sub-theme. I wouldn't put it in a cube otherwise. But yeah, Consulate Crackdown. Next up, we haven't seen a mythic yet. We should hit one pretty soon. Again, a pack that just disintegrates but doesn't quite come apart. This pack. Let's do the countdown. Let's do the countdown for the Masterpiece / foil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There is no foil in this pack. Sad face. There is a terrifying train, though. The rare is not a mythic. Why do I always think Whir of Invention's a mythic? We get the Artifact Chord of Calling. People want this to be really good. It could be really good. I don't know Modern and artifacts available in Modern that well to know how good this could be, but I do see the potential for it. Will it be good? I don't know. I don't think so, but still has the potential. Anything that's virtually Chord of Calling has potential, right? That was an easy pack to open. This pack gets us a foil Pima Aether Seer. I do like the art for Pima Aether Seer. Pima Aether Seer. It might make my top 10 list. I'm not totally sure. I just like those Hydras. Foil, again, doesn't super pop. Oh well, there certainly is. I think the good foils in this set are primarily on the artifacts because they're so shiny, and it works better than these sort of darkish colored pieces of art. And we get probably the single best limited card in the entire set, Aether Sphere Harvester. Disgusting. If you see this, it's probably pickable over every other card in the entire set beyond something that's worth a lot of money because you don't want to pass a lot of money or something like that. Aether Sphere Harvester, really good. I bet that looks really good in foil. I bet that looks really good. Next up, still not hitting a mythic yet. We're going to hit a mythic vein soon. This pack, we get Metallic Mimic. That has a lot of M's in it, but none of them say mythic. Metallic Mimic, fun little limited card there. A card that probably will make it into a cube of mine for sure. Just a solid creature, and if you build a tribal deck, it gets that much better. Metallic Mimic, really good. Glad to have it. Up next. At some point, I do need to do a cube video of my cube. I'm not sure what I'll do for that. We'll have to find out. This pack, we get ourselves Yahenni's Expertise. Solid card. It's got some value attached to it too. $6-7, I think. Pretty happy to have a Yahenni's Expertise. It'll go in a cube for sure. Plus, it's got constructed potential. I do want to get back into Standard at some point. Who knows when? But hey, that'll probably help out. Are we literally mythicless? I think we're mythicless so far. We are mythicless so far. That's a shame. Let's hope we get one at some point. Otherwise, this is going to be the saddest box ever. Let's go Heart of Kieran. Let's go Heart of Kieran, foil Heart of Kieran in this pack. This pack gives us Bural's Expertise, a card that I opened first pick in my draft at FNM this week, and then never saw across 3 games. I won the draft, so that's fine, but with no help from this card. This card's just solid. Again, I think I slightly underrated it in my set review, probably because of the 5-mana and the sorcery speed, but the power is just huge. Super huge. Really good card. Super happy with it. I really wish I got to cast it, but I did not. All right, pack number probably 12 or 13 or something like that. What do we get? We get ourselves SRAM, Senior Edificer. Totally fine. It's a bear with upsides. You'll play it every single time because it's a bear. And if you're in white, you hopefully got some enchantment or some auras to pacify your opponent's creatures. You probably won't have any equipment, but you probably have a vehicle or two. SRAM, super solid. Probably not good enough to go in a cube, though. Cubes won't have that many auras. They'll have an Oblivion Ring or whatnot. Although Oblivion Ring's not an aura. Yeah, my cubes don't really run pacifisms. No, probably just not good enough for cube. Not unless you build a cube specifically full of equipments and vehicles and auras. Next pack, we get ourselves Rickshaw Renegade and another foil implement. This time Implement of Malice. Again, some cool foiling on the weird smoke coming out of the idol's eyes. But Rick, I can never remember this person's name. Rishkar Pima Renegade, super solid card, 100% going in the cube, because mono green always needs help in cubes, right? Rishkar, super solid. Looks like it's worth a little bit too. $5 or so. Of course, at the end of the video, I will do a recap of the expensive cards, the cards that are worth more than $5 or so you can see how much this box was worth. Next pack, I feel like we're getting about halfway through. This has got to be the Mythic, right? We get a Mythic. I guess that's what I get for asking. We get Indomitable Creativity. A terrible card. Absolutely horrible. Probably the worst Mythic in the set. People have been trying to convince me that, oh, this is totally fine in draft. You should do it and make your servos into better things, or it kills their bombs. Don't do it. It's a bad card. Randomness is not where you want to be in Magic. Leave this to Hearthstone. Certainly not going in my cube ever. All right. So if I ask for this to be a masterpiece, it's going to be the worst masterpiece ever, right? Which I'd still be happy with. All right. What's in the pack? What's in the pack? We get a glint sleeve siphoner. Bobette, I guess. She seems very good, actually. I definitely want to draft her. I think she can do some solid work. Probably, or no, she won't be in a cube. She's got energy on it. And energy is pretty damn hard to put into a cube. She does make her own energy, though, right? She does. But without an additional energy outlet, I don't think she really works in cube. Next pack. What do we get? What do I most want out of this pack? I really do want a Heart of Kiran, not just for the money. I do want a Paradox Engine for my cube. I think that'd be amazing in mono green ramp. Let's go Paradox Engine. Let's go Masterpiece Paradox Engine. Nope, we get Monkey Lady. Monkey Lady's really good. I've already got one, so she was already probably going to go in my cube anyways to help out mono red aggro. But yeah, Monkey Lady's very good. I like her a fair bit. I don't know if I've gotten a monkey token yet. I don't think I have. Oh no, I do have a monkey token. I have a monkey token, and I have an Ethereum cell as well. Getting all the rare tokens. And I've got like 3 Tezzeret emblems already, just from pre-release and F&M. Alright, pretty sure we're more than halfway through at this point. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'll also figure out the stats of me, the odds of me not opening a masterpiece after this box. Or sorry, actually no. The odds that I mentioned at the start included this box. We get a Disallow. Disallow's got some value to it. That's my second Disallow. Disallow probably instantly goes in a cube, I would think. Being a Stifle effect seems pretty good. And of course, it's got tons of constructed playability. Yeah, so the stats that I mentioned at the start of the video included this box. It's a 93% chance that I would have opened all of the packs that I've opened across the 4 Masterpiece sets and opened a Masterpiece. And I have not, which means it's a 7% chance that my current reality is reality. Next pack. We get ourselves Aether Geode Miner. Card that I consider to be a flavor fail, because when she goes away and comes back, she doesn't get you anything. And that's the act of mining. Attacking isn't the act of mining. Why does she get the energy on attack? Well, because it would be a bad card otherwise. But it's a bad flavor card this way. Still, solid first pick, super aggressive. Definitely want to play with it in draft. All right. Next up, what do we get? What do we get? We get ourselves Release the Gremlins, number 2, although this one's non-foil, and there was an Ethereum Cell token. Yeah, Release the Gremlins. We've already talked about it. Not too much else to say. Probably goes in cube as like the one artifact hate spell, depending on how many artifacts I have. Next up, we get ourselves SRAM's Expertise to go with the SRAM that we got. I like SRAM's Expertise quite a bit. I don't know if the Expertises all go in cube or not. They probably all do. Maybe not the Threaten one. The Threaten one's pretty bad. This one probably doesn't do too much, although it does really help out sort of white weenie decks. You do this plus an Anthem or two, and you might have a pretty serious threat, actually. I need to actually redo my cube. I haven't added to my cube for the last 2 sets, I think. Maybe even 3 sets. I need to do a whole overhaul on it at some point. Just haven't had time. All right. Well over halfway. And this time we get ourselves Free Jam Regent. That is my 3rd Free Jam Regent already. One in pre-release number 1, one in pre-release number 2, and one right now. Solid card. Won't go in cube. I don't think the artifact sub-theme is big enough to support an improvised card, but hey, dragons are always cool. Next up. Oh wow, I didn't realize Aether Sphere Harvester had a value attached to it. It's like 533. Next up, we got ourselves a Spire of Industry. Land is always good. Land will always have some amount of value attached to it. It's a little bit hard to turn this into a mana confluence, but yeah, you only need 1 artifact. Spire of Industry, decent. I do have to go through and do a count of how many Fatal Pushes I've opened. I haven't been checking that. Of course, the fact that they're like $7 right now means nothing. Uncommons like that rapidly drop in price because of all the product that's being opened this weekend. So certainly don't expect them to stay at $7. Dark Intimations with a foil resourceful return. Yeah, that sounds like a pack that I'd open. Those are both really bad. Maybe Bolas turns out to be absolutely amazing in Amonkhet and this card becomes super valuable, but I doubt it. I rather doubt it. Starting to get to the last third of the box or so. What do we get? We get ourselves a foil Gonti's Machinations. And more importantly, Mythic number 2, an Aetherwind Basker. Aetherwind Basker, absolutely disgusting. I never want to have to play against this card. The fact that it will attack as, at what, a bare minimum, a 9/9 trample? The turn after it comes down is disgusting. And odds are it's going to be significantly bigger than that. Don't know if it'll see much constructed play because of that triple green, but I think it's a cube include for sure, because while it uses energy, it doesn't really need additional energy production, plus it produces its own energy. Next up, we get ourselves Mythic number 3, Mythic back-to-back Lightning Runner. Lightning Runner, probably not a cube include, because she doesn't make energy. Does she make energy? Well, she makes energy, but she makes it really slowly, and she's just a 2/2 double strike for 5. That's really underpowered. I don't think she makes it in cube. Don't think she makes it in constructed either. It's actually a rather bad mythic. Not Indomitable Creativity bad, but close. Well, 3 mythics. We've reached our statistical likelihood of mythics for the box, which is good, because at the start, when we went that long without the first mythic, I was a little bit worried. Next pack, we get ourselves Inspiring Statuary. What is a statuary? I always want to say statue or sanctuary. What is a statuary? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, fine enough card. Don't think it makes it in cube unless you're building a dedicated sub-theme, but fine enough. Next pack, what do we get? We get ourselves a Green Wheel Liberator. That had some value attached with it in pre-release. I don't think it does anymore. Not seeing it on my list. Not seeing it on my list, but I might also just be missing it. Yeah, fine enough card. Probably a decent enough first pick in limited. But beware, it may just be a 2/1, which is not a decent first pick. But if you can Unbridled Growth, sack it, draw a card, play this on turn 2, and you've got a 4/3, It's even slightly more disgusting than the elephant. And the elephant's pretty disgusting. Next pack, we get ourselves a Hope of Girapur. If you ever want to build a Thopter Commander deck, here's your legendary Thopter Commander. Pretty bad card. Could have... I don't think it'll actually see any constructed play. The effect is just so limited. Yeah, cool card to have story-wise, and certainly happy to have one in the collection. Don't think it'll go in cube. Don't think it'll see constructed play. Probably has some commander playability, maybe. I think we've got 6 packs left. 6 chances left to hit that masterpiece. At this point, I just want one. I don't even care what it is. Aether Tide Whale. Fine enough card. Probably would first pick it in most limited packs. 4 blue's a real cost, though. But, hey, it's a 6/4 flyer. You can't ask for much more. 5th last pack. 5th last pack. Let's break the statistics and get a 4th mythic. Oath of Ajani. I'm fine with an Oath. Pretty sure that's an instant include in cube. Helps out with your planeswalkers. If you're going kind of planeswalker weenie, helps out your weenies. Solid card for a green-white in my cube. Next up, we get ourselves Gonti's Aether Heart. We get the 4th mythic. It's not very good, but hey, you know, people like extra turns, but there's just so many other extra turns cards out there that are so infinitely better that Gonti's Aether Heart isn't really going to cut it. All right, down to the last 3 packs. Pack 3rd, the last. Shock on top. Maybe it will be a shocking card underneath. It is a Quicksmith Spy. Fine card. Could maybe see cube play. Maybe. Not sure about that. Certainly a relatively high pick in limited, though. Being able to turn any artifact you want into just draw a card is really solid. 3rd last pack, we get Yahenni, who's an instant cube include. Very solid, aggressive black card. Really like Yahenni. Definitely want to play with them in draft for sure. Final pack. Please be a masterpiece, although it's not going to be, because of course this pack has a 1 in 144 odd chance of having a masterpiece, which is less, or sorry, ever so slightly more than 0.5% chance. We get ourselves a Quicksmith Rebel and a foil on Bridled Growth. Well, that was unfortunate, but that's a box of Aether Revolt. Not a terribly valuable box. I will do a quick recap right now. So there we go. Not a terribly exciting or valuable box. Not too much more than $55 in rares worth $5 or more. There's some other cool stuff in the box. There's some cool foils. There's a ton of stuff for my cube. So of course I'm always happy to have that stuff for cube. Because even though they're only worth $2, $3, $4, I still would have had to have bought them from the store if I wanted them for my cube. Yes, I probably would have saved money, but I wouldn't have had fun and I wouldn't have opened a box for you guys. Yes, I know, buy singles if you want cards, but opening packs is fun. And that's the moral of the story. Hopefully you guys have had fun with your boxes, with your packs. If you've opened boxes, let me know what you got. Let me know your best pull. Let me know all those masterpieces that you've gotten. As I said, it is a 7% chance that I would have opened all of the packs that I've opened in masterpiece sets and not opened a masterpiece. And I have, which means that I'm super lucky to have done something with that low of odds. Right? Anyways, let me know how your boxes have gone in the comments down below. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, you can find me on Twitter at TheManaLeak. That's L-E-E-K, like the vegetable, not the card. You can also find me at Facebook.com/TheManaLeak, Twitch.tv/TheManaLeak, and Patreon.com/TheManaLeak if you want to help me out there. Become a backer, tons of rewards, and I don't know. Throw me some money to give me condolences for this box. But no, throw me money because you like the content and want to support it. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, let me know. Otherwise, see y'all next time.